absolute fire. And one of the guys that is leading the charge is Nikita Kucherov. The Bolts have won 9 in a row. They're looking for lucky number 10 tonight against the Flyers. Not often you see back-to-back road games against the same team. Kucherov is his 8th straight multi-point game. Across the 8 games, he's got 9 goals, 13 assists, and 22 points. It's a shame we're not going to get to see him in Team Russia in the Olympics because I can only imagine what he would be doing there.
Red hot. He is still one of the greatest, if not the best player on the planet. And 9 wins in a row, the longest win streak of the season, and the longest active in the NHL right now. They've recorded a win streak of at least 9 games on 4 other occasions, 2019, 2018, 2015. This team under Coach Cooper over the last decade has shown dominance and continues to show dominance. They scored 6+ goals in a road game for the 6th time this season. The young guys stepping up, next man up mentality. When you sprinkle in the stars with that, you've got a winning formula, and this team is humming right now.
I've said throughout the year I like this team a lot better than last year's team, but I don't know if they're Stanley Cup contenders. I think I'm going to stop saying that. You don't win 10 games in a row if you're not a Stanley Cup contender. What they're doing right now is so impressive, and a lot of it, as you just detailed, is about Nikita Kucherov. Sam, I want to turn this around on you for a second and ask you a question because you voiced your displeasure on the voting for Coach of the Year when it comes to John Cooper. What is a bigger travesty, John Cooper's disrespect right now or the repeated disrespect we've seen for Nikita Kucherov when it comes to MVP?
I'm still going to go Cooper. If you watch hockey and even remotely if you entertain the sport, you don't have to be a diehard like myself or like you gentlemen. If you just simply watch the sport maybe once a week, you know who Nikita Kucherov is. You don't know that about Cooper, and I know you don't know coaches like most people don't know coaches like they do in the NFL, but when there's other guys in the league like McDavid, like a Cale Makar, like a Nathan McKinnon, you're going to draw a lot of things. But Cooper, in my opinion, has done the greatest job, not just this year, but numerous years, has yet to win the Coach of the Year trophy. And like I said, Kucherov is a superstar. He should win an MVP. It's really hard to do when McDavid is doing the things that he is doing every year and seemingly every night. So it makes it really difficult.
I also think it's political. I do. I like, we love Nikita Kucherov. In the world of hockey with fans, he is not the most likable guy. There's no.
Well, he disrespected the All-Star game, Aaron, and that's super important.
And honestly, that season was. You look at that season, like people look at that as a knock as to why he didn't get the MVP. It should have no correlation, but him not, giving 100% effort in a skills competition in the All-Star game, they booed him and they were pissed about it. Makes no sense. It's political, totally political.
If he disrespected the sport of hockey in an actual hockey game, right, I'd take issue with that, like anybody else might. But
nobody
the skills competition,
and you'll never. And by the way, you'll never. To your point, Pat, you'll never say that about Cooch in a real game.
No,
nobody cares more. Nobody tries harder. Early in his career, and sometimes we would see him pout a little bit, and it would throw his game off. But it wasn't because he didn't care; he was just frustrated.
No, he certainly brings the juice, and I wanted to bring it up. Coach Cooper, after this streak, because if he has multiple points tonight, he'll tie Steven Stamkos for the 4th longest streak in NHL history. Coach Cooper had the privilege of coaching Stammer for over 10 years. Here's what he had to say about Nikita Kucherov.
I've been around here for a decade or so, and you hope one time you get to coach a player of that stature, and I've been fortunate. I've had a few, and he's at the top of the list.
Really high praise for Coach Coop about his hopeful MVP.
Yeah, he's had a few. He said, "Who do you think makes the list?"
Well, Stammer's on that list.
Yeah,
Points on that list. Kucherov's on that list. Vazzy's on that list. Hedman's on that list. It's a big list.
Palat.
It's a big list.
Does that make the list too big?
Yanni Gord.
Like Alex Killorn, those guys, like those are different tiers. There's different tiers to like the stars, there's the Cooches, and then there's the Tyler Johnsons of the world that like were so instrumental, especially Tyler Johnson, to what we became. But he's not, obviously we know Tyler Johnson's not the best player, or wasn't the best player.
Name 2, Ryan Callahan.
Yeah.
He was big at the start of the Coop regime, but We got a huge one tonight, as we mentioned. They're back in action at 7 o'clock, so everyone needs to tune in. Cooper said after last game, 9 is a fluke, but get to 10, we'll call it a streak. So he's still having fun.
I like that.
By the way, you know that Andre Palat is not on the list because as soon as I said Andre Palat, we came up with like 10 more names, and that's when the list is too big.
Big list.
What's not a big list is the number of teams in the FA Cup that have knocked off the defending champion. This isn't really a soccer show, gentlemen, but it
What
is.
a segue.
What's the FA Cup for those that don't know?
So I'm going to get into it for you guys. So this isn't a soccer show, but it is a show of the people, and the people love upsets. The FA Cup is an annual tournament between England and Welsh soccer groups from leagues 1 to 10. There's 25 leagues over in England with a ton of teams, from teams like the three of us gentlemen who go out there on Sundays and have fun to Arsenal, Man City, and above. But on Saturday, the FA Cup produced its biggest upset in the 154-year history of the tournament. FA standing for the Football Association.
Let's not call it that.
Macclesfield, who is in the 6th division, so it would be the equivalent of being like under a couple levels of the USFXL, or whatever it's called these days, became the first non-league club to knock out the defending champion in 117 years. The last to do it, Crystal Palace, who was the loser in this game, knocked out the Wolverhampton Wanderers in 1909. Gentlemen, this is like UMBC knocking off Virginia and then some.
It sounds like the plot of a goofy comedy, like where like a group of dudes just get together and go, let's go beat a professional soccer team, and then they do that.
Not so you're comparing it, Sam, to a 16-1 upset in the tournament, and the NCAA basketball tournament. Even more so, you say. They stormed the pitch, if you will. I'm watching it. It wasn't a great storm.
How many people were there?
Not a lot. The storm wasn't great. It was a light rain, if you will. It's hard for me when Sam was putting this in, sending us the story. I'm trying to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
The 16-1 is as close as it got to me to getting that perspective because they have so many friendlies and this and that, and I don't know what actually matters.
None of it, if we're talking soccer.
I'm not the biggest soccer guy, so I'm trying to think. Like when I think of a 16 beating a 1, it was like, whoa, these recruits that are nowhere near the level of star recruits that you get in a number 1 seed. Like, who are these guys playing for this Macclesfield? Like, there's got to be some good players. You can't be one of the best in soccer where you're running around for a gazillion minutes.
Is it more similar to, instead of a 16 seed beating a 1 seed, like the lowest seed in the NIT winning the whole thing?
Yeah, and
Wow.
to make it football relevant, I would make it pretty comparable to like 2007 when App State knocked off
knew you were going
Michigan. Seriously, so everyone, it's the FA Cup. Everyone cares over there because you are essentially the kings of England over there if you win this. And for the most part, it's going to be guys in the top league in Arsenal and Man City, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not going to act like I'm a soccer professional by any means. I don't know much, but I do know that people care. It does matter. The tournament matters.